Well, the captain has a tremendous amount of responsibility as the master. He's in charge of a vessel worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Anywhere up to 25 lives are completely in his control. And all the pressures of the voyage and weather and then crew problems end up in the captain's office. So the captain many times ends up being a counselor, a father confessor, a doctor, and then he has to keep everything stable until it gets to port. The crew looks to him for solace if a crew member or a shipmate dies. So the captain, everyone looks to him, well, give us an answer. With all these pressures, sometimes they just build up to the point where a captain could use just somebody to talk to and maybe get some things off his chest. My experience, and probably that of many other captains, is the chaplain will come up, introduce himself, and say he would like to have time with the crew. And so you tell him to go down into the mess hall or the crew lounge, and as the crew becomes available around their work duties, that he can have whatever time he wants or needs with them. But they rarely spend time with the captain other than to introduce themselves. Well, the AOS-USA asked me to come aboard as a merchant mariner representative. They then asked me if I would step into the vice president's role, and they looked and said, well, now George, since you accepted the vice president's role, we're now going to make you president. So I've been in this position for 10 months now. It's been extremely rewarding, but I also look at it as a challenge. How can I strengthen the organization? How can I bring more merchant mariners into it? I have a personal goal of going to the academies and maritime schools to start the process while they're learning to be mariners. If we publicize ourselves and explain who we are to cadets as they're learning to be mariners, so that they become student members, and then as they go out on the ships, they'll be ready to talk about apostleship at sea to their fellow shipmates, and maybe we can create a groundswell of support that way.